Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're well. Thanks for coming back and joining me today. I'm clearly liked by the coolest people on the interwebs. If you're not aware, today's August 1st, which means my birthday's in a couple days. Last year I did a video on my birthday, so I may do a writing tag or something to celebrate. I'll figure it out. Oh, if this is your first time here, hi! I'm Naley Gonzalez, author of the new adult psychic suspense novel, Like My Mother Before Me. And welcome to my channel where I share tips and advice on writing, the self-publishing process, my occasional opinion on stuff going on in the writing world, and other fun writerly videos. If you're a writer or someone who likes that behind the scenes stuff, then I recommend you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a video. I think I can say it's fairly fun around here. There may be some friends and subscribers who'll vouch for me, hopefully. Also, be sure to leave a comment with an idea of what I should do to celebrate our 500 subscriber milestone. I got a suggestion for a Q&A from the awesome Joy Paul, so if you're interested in that, then drop whatever questions you have down in the comments that I'll try to answer. If you don't want a Q&A, share what you'd like to do. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Also, subscribe to Joey's channel. I'm not kidding when I say she's awesome. Anyway, we've been talking about novel structure, and last week I brought up the 7-point plot structure. Within that, I mentioned plot point 1, also known as the point of no return. This is the place that throws your character into the central conflict of your story and forces them out of their ordinary life. This is probably the most notable event in your story because it's the catalyst that kicks off your protagonist's journey. So today we're going over how to write a great first plot point with these 4 simple tips. Be aware that I will be dropping some spoilers from Star Wars and Harry Potter. So if you don't want those ruined, I suggest you go watch and or read those before continuing this video. But you know, they've been out for a while, so Number 1, placement matters. The first plot point marks the end of Act 1 and transitions your reader into Act 2. If you're following the 3-act structure or 7-point plot structure, am I saying it wrong? I think it's 7-point plot structure, but either way you get it. There's 7 of them and there's plot points. The placement of the plot points will either make or break your novel. If you introduce this first key event too late, your first act could feel dragged out. Bringing it too early, and your first act will feel overpacked and rushed. If you're aiming to keep a traditional structure, you'll want your first major plot point to happen about a quarter of a way into your novel. This is roughly the place where most writers break into the second act of their story. Number 2, don't forget those emotional stakes. Your first plot point is where your character ventures or is tossed into their new world. At this point, your protagonist will need to make an important choice. Take action or bad shit will happen. Sometimes more bad shit. In this scene, everything changes for your character, so it has to have an emotional force driving it. A great example is in Star Wars when Luke Skywalker learns his only 2 relatives have been murdered. It produces an emotional reason to join Obi-Wan and assist with his mission. Another example is Harry Potter. It's when Harry learns he's been lied to about his identity and his parents his entire life. You know, the scene where he's told he's a wizard, and Aunt Petunia says his mama got blown up, and he's like, blown up? You said they died in a car crash. The entire moment was intense. He was already living in a shit situation, and now he's not just pissed, he's heartbroken. After learning these things, what would Luke and Harry do? Would Luke go back to working on the farm? Would Harry go back to living with the Dursleys? Of course not. This scene will be what provokes your character to power on to the midpoint and beyond. Number 3, change your character's world. Up until this point, your characters believe they know all there is to know. The world and life is simple. Well, turns out they're wrong, and you are going to show that by thrusting them into new surroundings. This can be done by either literally sending them into a new world or simply changing the characters around them. You can do a mix of both. For Harry and the Harry Potter series, the Dursleys are replaced by Hagrid, who then takes him to Diagon Alley, a magical place, to get his school supplies. Again with our Star Wars example, Luke loses his only family and is left with his mysterious neighbor, 2 bickering androids, and eventually 2 bounty hunters before they take off to travel in space. It's these new characters that will help Luke on his journey to become a Jedi Knight. Keep in mind the first plot point is where your character will depart from the normal world you established in the first act. And number 4, make sure the stakes are extremely high. I told you earlier, this is known as the point of no return. Your protagonist must have one hell of a reason to take on this mission. This means the consequences for refusing to go on this adventure could be severe. Usually this is known as a life or death moment. It doesn't have to be an actual death, but if they don't go on this journey, some really bad shit will happen. Maybe they'll literally go crazy or change the course of time in a bad way. Whatever the consequence, your reader should feel that forward is the only possible path in order to conquer all the subplots, obstacles, and plot twists you have in store for them throughout the rest of your novel. And that's all, folks. Those are all 4 tips to help your first plot point be the greatest it can be. Remember remember to leave a comment with your questions or suggestions of how you'd like to celebrate when we hit 500 subs here on YouTube. Give this video a like so I know to keep making more of them. And if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button for more writing tips and advice. I post new videos on Sundays, so turn on your notifications to never miss one. And to stay in the know of what I'm up to, my novels, and current writing projects, follow me on social media and join my mailing list. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.